Hey fellow book lovers, and welcome back to the Bibliovert channel. My name is Alli, and today I am putting together my month spreads for January and February. I'm using an Archer and Olive B5 notebook, and I am burning my August Alchemy Elaine candle while I work. Last year I did a reading journal where I only tracked the books that I read. And I'm not usually a planner person because I'm not good at filling them in or keeping up with them long term. I am really good at keeping up with dump spaces, like if I have a blank journal where I just jot down ideas or sticky notes that track whatever fleeting thought goes through my brain. Those I'm actually pretty good at keeping up with, and I usually reference them a lot later, but they're extremely disorganized. So I find myself looking for sticky notes or what page I wrote something on. This year, I decided that maybe I would marry those two ideas. So marry the journal planner concept, the reading planner, but also allowing myself a lot of free space to do those dumping type tasks where I'm brainstorming or I'm writing to-do lists or whatever it may be. So in this journal, with these spreads, I'm tracking some things like reading, travel, and social media, but I'm also calendaring dates and I'm designating a lot of open space for me to write on. And all of that is in an effort to keep me on track with my goals for this year, because I want to be consistent with that throughout 2022. Since it is the end of February now, I can say that I did do a good job of using these spreads as intended through January, but February was a little harder, and I think that's primarily because I set the weekly spreads up differently in February than I did in January, and I don't think the February ones were as user-friendly, and the February spread ended up being vertical, and the January spread the days were horizontal. So I think I'm going to go back to that horizontal weekly spread in March. I am a sucker for a good Dutch door spread. So I'm going to be implementing the tabs feature on every month. It's something so simple that you can do, and there's a ton of different ways that you can do it. And I think they make such a statement on spreads, not just being another page. So even though the Dutch doors that I have throughout these months are larger Dutch doors, I'm really happy with the way they turn out, and I really like the way that they look when I'm using them throughout the month. I will say my favorite part about these month spreads are the trackers that I did at the end of each month. So I've got simple book reviews, and then I have a month in review or a month wrap-up page. So the book reviews page gives me space to briefly write some surface level thoughts, and it helps me track my progress for my reading goal for the year. But I don't feel obligated to put every book that I read that month on the page, nor do I feel like I have to write lengthy or formal reviews for each book. So it's helping reinstate the fun side of book reviewing for me. For the month wrap spreads, I really love seeing things like how many days I traveled, how many days I read. But one of my favorite pieces is the short playlist idea, which was actually inspired by one of my favorite bullet journalers here on YouTube, Tina's Diary. I actually watch her videos while I work on my own journal because her painting is so soothing. I saw her playlist page in her October 2021 video, and I loved it so much that I decided to do a miniature version for myself, kind of like a monthly Spotify Wrapped. My books hauled and my books read section helped me remember what I acquired that month, even if I didn't have time to read it or to review the books on the previous page. And my favorite book spot will hopefully help me rank my books at the end of the year, which is something that I realized last year I hadn't done, and it made it hard for me to answer the question, what was your favorite book this year? Because I hadn't been keeping up with it. So hopefully this gives me a more focused idea what ends up being my favorite book of the year. At the bottom of the page, I have my goals for the following month, and I'm hoping that this is a spot that will help me create tangible steps towards completing my year-long goals. So these are going to be smaller, more manageable tasks that are physical steps that I can take within that next month to help me make progress on my year-long goal. I made many mistakes setting up the February title page. I even had to stop filming and restart because I was making so many mistakes. So I just want you to know, if you're new to bullet journaling, or it's not something that you do consistently, or you're not sure that you want to try it out, have no fear. There is always a creative way to remedy any mishaps that you may encounter on your journey. I have even gone so far as to tear out a blank white page and paste it over a page that I messed up. So there is always a way to start over and fix any mistakes that you feel like you're making. These weekly spreads, like I said earlier, were higher maintenance to set up because of that vertical rounded square piece, and it was not as functional as I wanted them to be. So I likely won't be returning to this layout, but the month spread is something that I've actually been enjoying a lot. Again, it's one of those pieces that helps me monitor my day-to-day accomplishments so that when I look at the month as a whole, I can see little things like how many days I read or how much I traveled. And I'm also doing my best to follow the brand kit color gradient that I have set up in the back of my journal. So January started as the darkest blue-green and February is a shade lighter, so that hopefully by the end of the year I'll end up in almost that burnt orange area, and hopefully it will make the journal look more cohesive in the long run without limiting myself to just one set of colors or just one set of designs, or not giving myself any boundaries and being all over the place and not unified. I really like using the craft paper on these wrap spreads because it's fewer lines that I have to draw, and it really makes the information that I'm tracking pop off out of the page. I'm genuinely excited about filling in these February wrap spreads as soon as the month is over, because after I did my January ones, I loved the way it looked. So I'm excited that I get to do that in a few days. So that's it for these 2 months. If you like what you see, feel free to utilize any of it or all of it in your own bullet journal. And I would love for you to let me know in the comments below, who are your favorite journalers who do weekly spreads? I would love to check them out and see if there's anything that I can spark ideas from for my future month's spreads. So thanks for watching, happy reading, and we will see you next time.